I love affirmations. They're something that I recently started using very intentionally, and ever since I have seen so much growth and change in certain aspects of my life that I've been applying these affirmations towards. And it makes me so happy to see how truly life-changing they can be, and how a few tweaks in the way we speak to ourselves and other people and the way we think can actually make such a difference in our lives. Hi, my name is Julia. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. This video is all about how I use affirmations to manifest my highest version and my best life. If I think back to when I was younger and I had just learned how to start intentionally manifesting, I actually did use affirmations unconsciously. And one of the first affirmations I used for myself was a very neutral affirmation, but it did so much for my life, and I used it in more of a mantra type of way. I feel like mantras and affirmations sort of go hand in hand, so you can use one, which would be more of a mantra that you just say over and over to yourself, or you can use many, which would be just multiple different affirmations that you also say to yourself and out loud and whenever comes up in your mind to use it. But the first one that I ever used that weirdly made such a positive impact in my life was, I have nothing better to do, why not do this? And by this I meant working towards my dreams, doing my YouTube videos and actually doing the work that was going to make my dreams come to life. I have nothing else better to do than work on my dreams. It's just a very neutral mantra. It's not negative or positive, but it made such a positive impact on my life that it became a very positive mantra. You could also use it in a negative way, like I have nothing else better to do, why not just do this? And by this you could be referring to watching Netflix, but I used this in a way that was going to benefit me, and it did. And within 2 weeks of me using that affirmation as a mantra, I went from getting 200,000 views a YouTube video to 2 million views a YouTube video consistently for months on end after repeating that mantra to myself on a regular daily basis. And whenever in the recent past, when I questioned to myself, do affirmations work? I would remind myself of the results I got from that mantra. Now, we can watch YouTube videos all day of how people use affirmations and how they work. This is my personal testimony and also what I do to make my dreams come true. But I want you to also try this for yourself and experiment, because once you see it working in your life, the proof is in the pudding, and you'll have the pudding sitting right in front of you and you can't deny that pudding once it's there. You get what I'm saying? I'm going to explain to you what I do, but I also want you to come away from this video and try this yourself with something seemingly unimportant to you, and then watch what happens. Because if you can do it on something you have very little resistance with, imagine how you're going to feel when you do this on something that you really truly want, that you might have a little bit more resistance with. And I will say this, when it comes to the things that you have more resistance on, you are definitely going to need to do some inner work behind that. But I have a video, my last video actually, that can really help with that and help with rumination and intrusive thoughts, because we know how powerful our thoughts are. That's why these affirmations that we say to ourselves repetitively really do work. But on the flip side, if we're having a lot of intrusive and ruminating thoughts, those can really bring us down, and we need to look at them, understand why we're there, deal with the emotion behind them so that we can move through it, have a clean frame of mind that we can work with to feed ourselves the actual affirmations for the life that we want. And we are going to have to let go of a lot of limiting beliefs, past traumas, and insecurities to get there. But I think if you can do that in tandem while affirming of what you truly want, you're gonna get there a lot faster. So that being said, I want to give you guys an example of affirmations that I used on something that I had very little resistance to and how quickly it came to fruition in my life. And then I'm going to give you another example of something that I had a lot of resistance towards, but then I started using affirmations on it while also working through my blocks and insecurities and limiting beliefs around it to now be able to manifest what I want that I had so much resistance towards. Example number one, the one that I had very little resistance towards, and one of the reasons I think you should start here is because it will help you create confidence and belief around how truly powerful you are as a creator, and it will help mitigate any doubts you have when it comes to starting to manifest the things that you do have resistance around. Okay, so my example of something that I had very little resistance towards was finding parking spots. And originally when I started affirming that parking spots are always available to me, I wasn't really consciously doing it. It was sort of a joke. I was just like, wow, I'm really like finding parking spots a lot. And I would keep saying it. And then suddenly I started to realize I'm not just finding parking spots because there's parking spots. I'm finding parking spots because I am telling myself that I can find parking spots, that they are always available to me, that they are available everywhere I go, even in big cities, even in places where it's hustling and bustling and it's rush hour and everyone's trying to park. And not only would this work, I mean, it worked every time. I would go to New York City. No one finds parking in New York City. I found parking in New York City. I would go to Center City, Philadelphia. It's always annoying to find parking there and it'll take me like 30 minutes. No, I would find one instantly. And the more I told myself that I find parking spots everywhere I go, the more I Snapchatted about it and told everyone on Snapchat, the more I told my friends about it, the more I believed it, and everyone else did too. And when I would tell people who didn't really know me very well, I'm like, yeah, I'm like a magician at finding parking spots, they wouldn't believe me at first. And then they would get in the car with me and I'd be like, oh, we're going to Center City and we're gonna park like right near where we need to be. And they're like, sure we are. I would pull up and there would be a perfect spot right in front of the place. They would be so shocked. They're like, you got lucky this time. I'm like, really? Are you sure? Because I told you this like before we even knew there'd be a spot here. Basically, that just kept happening month after month, and we're almost a year or so into this, and now I truly believe that I just manifest parking spots everywhere I go because I affirm it, I believe it, I know it's going to happen. And even when there are times where there's not an instant parking spot and I have to like circle, it's only like once that I have to circle or twice, and it's not even that big a deal. And when I am in those moments of circling, I'm still affirming. I'm like, I know I'm gonna get one, it's not really that deep, and then I do. So I say all that to say that I've been using that as a confidence boost, that I know that if I can do this with parking spots, something so convenient but also so basic, I can also do this with other things in my life. Because if I can manifest an abundance of one thing, I can also manifest an abundance of another thing. The second example I'm going to give you, I had a lot of resistance around. I mean, like so much to the point where it was sad. But now I'm at a place where I know I've beat it. Like I know I have worked through my blocks there, and now I'm like, oh, is it that easy to manifest? I guess it is. And that for me is making my own money doing what I love. And if you guys have watched my previous few videos, you know that it was a journey for me to get there, but I am finally there. I've finally worked through my money blocks after persisting and persisting and persisting to no end, even when I didn't see any money coming in, even when the money was as small as $10, I was still persisting in knowing that if I keep doing what I love consistently, the money is going to show up, and it's going to show up in large amounts. We are now a year into this. I've been persisting for a year. I just checked my app where it shows my money. I made over $10,000 this month. That was a goal for me. I never thought I was gonna get there ever again, but I did. After 5 years of not being able to make more than a couple $1,000s in a year, I have finally worked through my money blocks. And now an affirmation that I say to myself over and over and over again is, I make more money than I can even spend. Money is attracted to me. Money just comes to me. I can't help but make money from what I love. What I love to do just brings in the money every time. And the more I say it, the more I believe it. I actually didn't start implementing the affirmations until October. I was already doing pretty well persisting at what I love and feeling the gratitude of every amount of money that came in, no matter how small, how big. And then in October, I started adding in the money affirmations. Tell me why that month I made more money than I made the whole year in that month. And then the month of November, I doubled it. And I gotta say, I think partially I can attribute it to also meditating, but I really do think it was adding in those affirmations that changed the game, because I have seen more money come into my bank account in this month than I have in years. It doesn't matter where you are in your journey, what blocks you have, you can manifest anything you want, and affirmations are a really great tool to use because they are constant reminders of how powerful you are. I will say it helps if you believe them. So if you're using an affirmation you don't believe, like I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire, that's not going to be as helpful as using an affirmation that's more general, like I'm abundant, I attract what I need when I need it. So if you are feeling doubtful, using general affirmations is going to do a lot more positivity in your life than using specific affirmations like I'm a millionaire or money's attracted to me. If you're having money blocks, maybe don't use money's attracted to me. Maybe use I'm abundant and I always have what I need when I need it, because that just means you have what you need to exist. Your abundance could be I'm abundant in parking spots, I'm abundant in money, I'm abundant in friends, I'm abundant in food. You know, it could be anything. Abundance is just having what you need when you need it. So I would say if you can't truly believe something, stick to general until you can start to believe it. When I started using the specific affirmations around money, that was only after I already saw that money was coming in. But if I would have used that last year when I was only making like $10 a day, I would not have believed it and it really wouldn't have done much for me. So it's very important to make sure the affirmations you use are believable to you and make you feel good when you say them, because it's really about how you feel when you say it than the actual specific words that you're saying. The feeling matters more than the words is what I mean. And with that, I challenge you to start using affirmations on an area of life that you don't have too much resistance around, just to see what happens, because I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. And I will see you all in my next video next week. I love you so much. Bye.